I've done mushrooms a handful of times now, and I've only really had good experiences with it. I like that shit. Except for one time. I wouldn't call this necessarily a bad trip per se, but rather just a little freaky at times. I was chilling with my two boys. We'll call them Roderick and Cole. It was a Friday, September night at Cole's place with the good vibes and that good gas we was smoking. There's not much to say about the beginning of this night because it was before some of the more memorable moments happened, but I do have a little voice memo from it that I can play with. We're in the kitchen right now and the lights are off and there's a blue light emanating from Cole's bedroom and I'm walking into the light.
December.
Traveler, where have you come from?
Travis. This is Skyrim.
Eventually into the night, Cole brought out some mushrooms, which we had not discussed doing beforehand, and I was not entirely prepared for. He was like, yo, boys, we gotta do these shrooms, and we were both game. A little thing about Cole's place is that he lives on the top floor of his apartment. So best believe we were feeling bougie with the supreme views. We were staring out the window, looking down at the street when the shrooms hit it. And combined with the weed, it just sent us. I guess staring at the window was starting to give these boys some ideas because Roderick was like, bro, we should go for a walk. Which sounded good in the moment, but in hindsight, it's kind of a bad idea to walk around town late at night on mushrooms and completely baked. But we went out anyways. If you've ever been in this kind of mind state, you know how everything just seems to have this gloss over it that just makes you giggle. We are trying to get out the door and down the stairs with these big grins on our face, chuckling down each step. I don't know if anyone had seen or heard us at this time, but I do know, I am sure that if they did, they knew what was going down. One of the first things I noticed was how I could see more. It was like when you turn up your field of vision in Minecraft and you can just see a wider view. And we were just staring at this brick pillar. It's hard to explain, but everything just felt like Minecraft. I was convinced that this pillar was made out of like 3 Minecraft blocks stacked on top of each other, and it was the coolest thing I had ever seen. Cole threw out the idea of going to college campus, which from where we were was only about a 10-minute walk, which sounded great because there's a ton of sick architecture to look at there, but also there's a ton of people and students walking around. But you know, what's the worst that could happen? So we were down. We had the objective. We have to get to campus. The particular neighborhoods we had to walk through to get to campus were very hilly, which my mind liked a lot. I don't know why, but I kept saying, bro, this is like Disneyland, bro. This is just like Disneyland, bro. And then this lady sprints right past us. We didn't think any of it at first, but then a few minutes of walking later, there were these 3 big homeless dudes walking in the same direction. In hindsight, I don't think these people were following her, considering how slow they were walking and how far away they were, but my mind made a connection. I was like, wait a minute, I think we just walked past a situation. And my boys were like, yo, I think you're right. I think that was a situation. So we felt the need to bring justice upon these people and intervene. We gotta help her out. But then I looked at these homeless dudes. These 3 homeless dudes were all bigger than the 3 of us. And in that moment, these homeless guys were not just homeless guys. They were predator and I was prey. I felt like an animal looking at these people. These dudes could end me in an instant if they wanted to. So I turned around and I went the other way. And there it was. On the top of this hill was a full view of the college campus. It was so bright and welcoming. It was my saving grace from whatever had just happened. Walking onto campus, Cole started to get really into the architecture. And to be fair, it is really nice buildings. It does look cool. But he was like really into it. He was running around the place and he wanted to see all of it. But considering what had happened prior, that just wasn't an energy level that I could match him on. Eventually, going through campus a little deeper, we found that there was an entire amusement park that we didn't know about. I guess it was homecoming night and they had set up Ferris wheels and little rides. It was crazy and none of us knew about this. All those lights from the rides you would think would be so appealing to my shroomy brain, but since it was later into the night, only the workers were really around and they were in the process of taking down the rides, which kind of gave off this creepy abandoned amusement park vibe, which is never a good vibe to be in. So as we walked through the park, I noticed that one of the workers, he looked a little familiar to me. So upon closer examination, I recognized him as my own flesh and blood human father. This was my dad. He was just there. I guess he was just working some random job that I had no idea about, but my mind freaked out. I did not want to speak to my dad while I was on drugs. So I did this awkward speed walk thing to get away, but not too fast because I didn't want to bring attention to me, but just like kind of a little walk. I swear I got within like a foot of him and he did not notice. It was a close call. At this point, I just wanted to go home, bro. Roderick was really just chilling. He was just having a good time and Cole was still acting like a goddamn fool. This dude started dancing around while we walked around the campus with no regard to the people passing. It was sus. But honestly, that's kind of a mindset I think everyone wishes they could be on. But considering what happened that night, I just wasn't there. I had to pull the plug at the night at this point, so I called up my girlfriend to pick me up. I was not about to walk all the way back. She picked me up, and when we got back to her place, I got the best sleep of my life. I was so relieved that I was in bed, it felt unreal. Despite the hectic night, we still got the good ending. If you're ever under the influence of shrooms, I would personally refrain from going out into populated areas for your walks. You can still go outside, I just stick to trails and like forest type walks. And if you start to freak out a little bit, make sure you have a girlfriend to call and pick you up. And if you don't, I'm not surprised. But